Podcast. Podcast. You have to remember, folks, where there's a podcast, there's a fine and dandy.
You're here with us,
Picked up another
joining
shift and la da dee dee.
in this corner.
In the blue corner.
You're here joining us today on Fine and Dandy.
Welcome back, everybody. This has been a incredible journey, and we're right back in your ear to continue on that path.
I hope y'all are enjoying watching us right now. Hope you're tuned in. Immerse yourself, you know?
Tune into the tuning.
Put your headphones on. Close your eyes. Sit in a dark corner of a dark room.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Lay back and just, let it take you over. Let the sounds just fill your ear holes. Or do the thing where it's like you have your headphones on, get red lights, cut ping pong balls in half, 2 of them, so you have one. Or you can really just cut one, use one half on one eye, one half on the other, and then you listen to us. They say that supposedly that's supposed to create a psychedelic experience.
Put red lights inside of a
No, you put red lights in your room.
Oh, and then you can
Cut the
half a ping pong ball
over each eye.
I didn't heard of that.
Yeah.
Let's try it today.
I'm good. I got work. So do that, and then,
Whoa.
and then listen to us while you're doing that.
Or just take some mushrooms or some good old-fashioned aceto.
Take an edible right now to the dome, to the face.
Throw some good old heroin into that needle stick.
That's
that
what
you like.
That's the fine and dandy experience.
Hell yeah, dude.
That's the fine and dandy experience.
If you're not throwing your life away for heroin, what are you doing?
If you're not fully immersed in this experience, don't even bother.
Yeah, dude, you heard him. Click off right now. Fucking after you like, comment, subscribe, you're gonna want to just completely
fully immerse yourself.
Dip off.
Go ask your local drug dealer right now. Throw your life away.
Yes.
I'm kidding. Don't do that.
He's
Please,
not. No,
please
he's
don't
not.
do that.
There's benefits in everything.
Sometimes you got to lose yourself to find yourself. I don't like that.
Said I was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and then I found myself through crack.
Holy shit. It's always good to be in studio. And we are here today. Woo! Let's go! Let's fucking go!
It's another grand Wednesday, but I don't know when this will be released, so it might not be Wednesday. Fucking deal with it, dude.
My dog is in a diaper.
Diaper dog.
She could be a super... Dude, if I put a cape on her...
She's like
she had a diaper.
Captain Dog Underpants, but like a dog.
Dogder pants.
I was going to say
Dude,
that.
we were we were watching...
Doggy diaper pants.
It's funny because last night we wanted to watch a Christmas movie, so I was looking up Christmas movies. There's a lot of bad ones out there. And then we were watching a YouTuber today kind of review them. Like
Drew Gooden.
Yeah, review shitty Christmas movies, and then it made me more excited to watch a shitty Christmas movie.
Dude, hell yeah. Because, I mean, we were looking for a Christmas movie. It didn't necessarily need to be shitty or great, funny or sweet. But we were just looking for something to watch, and then along the lines, we kind of got into the whole, what is a Christmas movie? Is it just something that takes place during Christmas? Or is it something that, is centered around the idea of Christmas?
I mean, Friday After Next for sure is a Christmas movie. It's in the Christmas world.
Right.
There's a Hood Santa. It's Christmas. It's a Christmas movie.
But
it's the holidays.
But at the same time, could at that point any movie that's during the holidays be a Christmas movie?
Yeah.
That's
why the argument for Die Hard's there.
But I mean, what about every fucking movie that takes place during the holidays? Are we just throwing that in the mix too? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where does the line draw?
If you have Thanksgiving in your movie, it's the Thanksgiving movie. Fuck it. If it's centered around Thanksgiving,
so is Grown Ups a 4th of July movie?
Yes. It's a summer film.
Right, but still, I feel like it's more so about friendship and growing up.
Is Sandlot a 4th of July movie?
Is it? They are fireworks.
And they play baseball on the 4th of July. I mean, that's, if you think about it, it is. That's like one of the most America-ass movies of all time.
Real shit.
Growing up in the suburbs, playing baseball.
Yeah. Your biggest problem is a dog that lives in someone's backyard.
Yeah. Come on, the fireworks are lighting up the sky. Let's go play some baseball. Bitch, what? There's food. My family has food. They're barbecuing.
Yeah.
You want me to go play baseball?
You know what was always funny to me was that, like, in the Sandlot movie, when they're at the carnival, right? And they have that
The dip.
big-ass shit on display. Wasn't that from Sandlot? Where they're at, like, the carnival, and there was, like, a big-ass, like, shit that was on display. It was supposed to be, like, the fucking massive-ass dog. Or the one that used to live and, like, not the one that was there. I feel like I remember that from something. I felt like it was Sandlot.
I don't remember that. I remember them dipping, and then they threw up on the ride. It was the
I remember that too, but there was like some like part of the like carnival that was just like things that were on display that you could like look at, like almost like impressive things. And one I feel like I remember being like a dookie from the dog.
Yeah, you can look that up.
It's a monster
'cause
dog.
I definitely don't remember that as part of the movie. But continuing on, it just makes you think, like, are bad movies bad? Are they also good? Like, there's a great thing about terrible movies. Maybe it's just me and I enjoyed shitty films because it's, you know, a lot went into it, and you have to think, these people really took the time to write out a script for it, and then they took the time to film all of that.
Well, found someone to pay for the filming first
That's
of all.
that's where really I get lost. I'm really always thinking, how did you manage to get someone to fund such a shitty film?
Yeah.
They're pretty bad. How? Like, The Room makes sense because Tommy Wiseau pretty much funded the whole thing, and it was his idea, and he wrote the script, and, you know, it was pretty much a one-man shit show that people agreed to because they had no idea what they were doing. But, like, other films, I'm just like, how did this manage to get put through? And I think it's because some people out there really just want to keep that alive for the Christmas spirit, you know?
Right.
Keep that terrible.
I mean, it's kind of the idea of like making a Christmas song. You know what I mean? It's been done. Doesn't mean you can't do it.
Dude, Christmas songs are awesome when they're like
Sometimes.
when they're parody, like when they're funny Christmas songs.
But I mean, like, not that's not what I'm talking about. But like, what I'm talking about is like Mariah Carey's been cashing checks for years at this point.
Oh yeah.
But like that alone might show somebody else that they too can make a Christmas song, and they too could cash those checks.
I
for
hope
years.
so. I mean, what's that one song that most people hate? Some people love it though. Last Christmas
I gave you my heart,
but the very next day you gave it away. Yeah.
Bro, that shit's funny. Fucking 8th grade year, they had the whole cheerleaders fucking sing that song to me.
To you
Yeah.
specifically?
Yeah, like in Mr. Fox's class,
Was it
I
your
told
birthday?
no, I told everybody
not-
that I wasn't gonna come back for the second semester, that I was moving, just to like fuck with people.
Like, you made that up?
Yeah,
Like, did they think you were serious?
yeah.
Oh shit.
And Mr. Fox put like a whole thing on the announcements that year of the cheerleaders singing to me "Last Christmas," da 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 da. And I was like, "This
That
is
was 8th
perfect,
grade?
bro." Yeah,
I was
and
in your class.
exactly.
I don't remember that.
Bro, for sure that happened. And then also, when I came back, fucking like Michelle Lacey and Brandy and everybody were like, "What the fuck? Why did we do that?" I was like, "Gotcha, bitch." But it was like, I'm trying to think. I had like just gotten into that class because I was only in there for like the last 3 to 4 weeks of the first semester. I was in Spanish with
8th grade?
Mr. Waddell. Yeah, I was in Spanish with Mr. Waddell, and so that I could get into Mr. Fox's class, I swapped to the other Spanish teacher at an earlier what's it called? Earlier class period type shit. And then yeah, I swapped to, because basically you and David were in that bitch, and I was like, man, that sounds fun, because I had both of y'all in like all my other classes.
Yeah,
shit.
we were in that class.
It sounded
And
fun.
then we had B minor in that class.
Fucking Gavin, fucking.
Dude, that was why was that a class, bro?
Bro, it shouldn't have been.
Oh, dude, holy shit.
Nah, but like straight up, that shit, I'll never forget that shit. Just like making the whole cheerleading squad sing to me, just knowing in the back of my head, I'm not going nowhere, stupid.
That's hilarious. I don't remember that at all.
That
My
shit's
memory's
funny.
also not the best. That is really funny though.
Okay, so I'm beginning to think that I was thinking about a different movie,
Yeah, it's
or this
prob-
might have been like a Bernstein Bear
Maybe,
situation.
maybe you dreamt
Where-
it and you thought
where
it was
like
real. You woke
I
up.
saw it in the Sandlot, but now the simulation has
That's not it.
rebooted itself.
I doubt
They
that.
took that scene out.
I don't think so. I don't remember. I don't think that. I swear it was real. Dude, I think I saw somebody post on the other day. He's like, this reality doesn't feel like mine or something. When I was like, all right. I was like,
Chill.
I think I feel like that sometimes too, but I don't know, bro. It's like,
No, it's like those, like whenever some event happens, it's like,
dude, think about this though. It's a fine line. So someone wakes up, right? It's like, this isn't my reality. This isn't real. Like, that dude's fucking crazy.
So
But what if
yes.
it was true? Like,
But that's what I'm saying is like there are those things in life that are mysterious and things like that, and the soonest you attribute it to anything, whether it's religion or future technology or aliens or whatever this mysterious event is attributed to, that person will always be seen as crazy.
Like-
this is God's work. So any person that believes in God would be like, you're kind of putting on a bad face for us. Like that lady during the pandemic, where she was like, I don't need to wear a mask, and I'm definitely not getting a vaccine. You know why? Because God's got me. God's got my back. He's going to put any challenge in front of me that I can overcome. And if I can't overcome it, it was his decision to do it. I trust my God.
see, look,
And I'm not saying that that's not bad.
I
Like
can
I'm not
respect
gonna
that.
I'm not gonna hold like try to joke on anybody for their beliefs. That what I'm trying to say is that people look at that lady like she's stupid and crazy and
oh, yeah.
insane and things like that.
I did too.
Even people that believe in God and
Yeah.
trust God to have their back on every situation and put good things before them.
But I respect it. Like, she was all in.
true.
Don't be half-assed.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely
Like,
not.
don't be half-assed. I mean, it was dumb because it's like, you could
True,
spread
but
it, you know?
true, but the point is that like no matter what your reasoning is for a mysterious event or a decision on your part, like I'm trying to think of like an example, you know what I mean? But otherwise, what I'm trying to say is that like it's not the actual thing itself, the mysterious event. It's just you attributing it to something that makes you seem crazy. Kind of like I've told you about like the nights that I've tripped so hard on drugs that like I've purely felt it was my last night on earth, and that
Yeah.
so like I've since then started to realize that it like I was feeling that way because it felt like the end of something, but I didn't know what.
I feel that.
And it's now apparent like what those things were in those times, what was ending, you know what I mean? It was like cycles that I was in or people that I was in with, hanging around with and stuff like that. But in that moment it felt like obviously the drugs had something to do with it, but in that moment it felt as if something's about to change and I don't know what, but it very well could be the end of my life type shit. Like I don't know how I talked myself into those things, but like now if I talk about it I feel crazy, if that makes sense. Like I don't feel as if I could talk about certain things that I've actually experienced because I know that I can attribute it to anything that makes sense.
It's kind of like the, I was thinking, imagine if the Groundhog Day, you know how many different movies they made
Yeah.
off of that one movie, but if that was actually real. You just
Like if
fuck.
somebody like was to relive every day until
It's like,
they
yeah,
got
I've
it
killed
right.
myself 1,000 times at this point, but
Yeah.
I just keep coming back.
That was a dark part of that, like specific, because most other like, what are they called? What's it called whenever you like base something off of a previous movie, like pretty much to the T, like the whole concept, like what happens and stuff like
So
that.
specific, like,
It's like a reiteration almost of the movie. Like every reiteration of Groundhog's Day, including like the Palm Beach one we saw.
yeah,
the
there was a
fucking
Nickelodeon did their own version of that.
Really?
It was called like The Last Day of Summer. This kid was
Oh,
just
shit.
reliving the last day of summer over and over again, and it was just that same thing. Like, I know this is gonna happen.
yeah.
No, this is gonna happen. Imagine waking up like, I relived the same day every day. It's like, that guy's nut job. And
I
it's-
mean, yeah, for sure.
but then you start pointing shit out. People are like, all right, the government needs to fucking
contain you.
like, what is going on? Like, that would not go that way. Like, you're not getting away with that.
Oh no, for sure not. I mean, like think about the one with Tom Cruise, like where he's like at war type shit.
Minority Report?
No. It was
No, it was the Edge. No,
Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah.
was it the Edge of Tomorrow?
Yeah. It's like I'm on the edge of tomorrow, basically every day.
Every day. That's what it was. Yeah.
But no, like that's what I'm saying is like those reiterations all have like more of a light-hearted concept, and comparison to Groundhog's Day, where he literally said, "I've been trying to kill myself for so long."
Like, yeah, dude.
It's a little bit darker. I
I've
felt
done
like.
this. I woke up the next day. I've felt it all. Somehow I still woke up.
It's like, how far could you possibly get in a day to experience anything outside of the norm
Or
that you've experienced?
It's kind of like also like what was it? Bandersnatch, the Black Mirror episode, or Black Mirror thing where you could pick different. Yeah, but then there was the one where the guy killed himself.
Yeah,
He
and
was
then
like, bro, it's okay, like type shit. But then like the guy, you went into a different reality, and they're like, have you seen what's his face? Yeah, no, he's been out of town, but like.
No, what was interesting about that is that, like, they went from him saying, like, none of this shit is real, like, I could kill myself and nothing would happen, da-da-da-da-da, and the person he told that to woke up the next day and was like, what happened to this dude? And they were like, who? Like, he doesn't exist type shit. And then, like, to add to the confusion, that dude's girlfriend came up to the main character and was like, have you seen my boyfriend? Da-da-da-da-da, I've been looking for him. And so he was like, so he was real type shit. Or was he? You know what I mean? Like, it's that almost like a Schrodinger's cat type of situation. It's like the only way you know if it exists is to end its existence.
Or no, I mean it both exists and doesn't exist until you figure out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When you open the box, you kill the cat. So therefore, the only way you can see that it ever was alive is to kill it. To know that there's a cat in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You have to open the box.
Yeah, I mean, if the cat that is if the cat is dead on the inside of the box, it's like it was to know that it was alive. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's both alive and dead simultaneously in that moment.
Right.
Before you, that's the whole thing of what is it? That quantum physics. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like simultaneously.
It's like
every
it changes when you
possibility.
measure it.
Every possibility exists until you perceive it.
Right.
You know. So
it's like when measured, things tend to change.
Yeah, it exists when you measure it. That
which exists across pretty much everything. Like whenever you're at work, I mean, you probably do your best work whenever your manager's not breathing down your neck, fucking asking you where your reports are and shit like that. You know what I mean? Whenever you're measured and things like that, things tend to change. You have pressure added and all these different
do you think like it's
variables?
I mean, I could go into saying, I know this is just off the wall, like it pertains to it in a way, but it just, when a manager or someone is expecting you to fuck up, and then when they see you, it just so happens you are fucking up.
Yeah.
It's like they're already, you know what I mean? They already have a perception when they look at you. It's like, fuck, you would notice when I fuck up. I did all this good shit. So it's
right.
Is it that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are we creating it in that? Because I feel like you are.
That's
creating
what I was
it
about
in
to
that
say.
moment.
It's like you yourself are almost asking to be measured by wondering if you are being measured type shit. You know what I mean? By that, like having that thought process, like I hope they don't, like, I hope I don't fuck up when they're looking, tends to create you fucking up when they're looking type shit.
Right. Instead of like, it always makes me think of that because working so many times with people who don't give a fuck and they're always good, but the person who tries the hardest, it's like there's always someone who's pointing out the shit that they're doing.
Yeah, true.
It's like, what?
No, I feel like it's like another one of those things where it's like, I can do that, and then you get up to do it type shit, and you're like, I don't know what to do. How should I go about doing this? It's kind of like the idea of like, there's a long line of people, right, standing at a half court line on a basketball court. First one to make it wins $500. You see the first 8 people just completely miss by far. And then it's your turn. The whole time you were watching them miss by far, you're telling yourself, like, I can hit this. I can hit this easily. Like, these guys are way off. I'm going to get at least closer. I'm going to hit the rim or some shit, you know what I mean? Then you get up to that line, you're like, oh, it's kind of far. It's kind of a far-ass shot.
It's a far-ass shot.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this. And then the person right behind you makes it type shit. And then they win the $500 because they weren't telling themselves the whole time, I got this, I'm good, like, I'm going to get it closer. They were just focusing, like, I think I could do this. Let me give it a shot.
I think most of the time it's just the person not even thinking about it. It's the person who's just like, fuck it. And they just Hail Mary that bitch and it's like, holy
fuck.
shit, I just made it. And then everyone else is like, holy fuck, that guy just made it. I can't believe it. What is going on? Now, wrapping back around, though, I wanted to say, like, with Christmas movies, a subject I wanted to touch up on due to the last episode. It kind of pertains to the last episode a little bit, but we already talked about it, but due to technical difficulties, we weren't able to release that.
I mean, we might still release it. I was going to say, we have, like, at least 35 to 40 minutes of the 55
No, I'm not
minute
talking
episode.
about the last episode I want to release. I'm
Oh, you
talking
mean
about,
the one before
like
that?
the couple before that we weren't able.
Oh.
Yeah. There was the one where we talked similar to the last episode. You remember we were talking about like the metaverse and everything. So wanted to talk about just how like bad movies, Christmas movies, I think in real life, just like memes. You know what I mean? Just like these when we were talking about like stupidity. You know, there's almost as if when you think of Island Boys. I remember there was a point on Twitter where people were asking, like, are these people just getting made in a machine or, like, what is happening? And in my head, I'm thinking now, potentially there could be marketing, like execs out there that are
creating people, basically.
like this, yeah. Like, all right, this is, you know, dress like this, do this or whatever at a certain tense, you know, to go viral.
Yeah,
Are
I
working,
mean, like not
mastering
in the,
that, like mastering.
not necessarily like in the crafting like format. Like I'm not making a person, but you're making like a personality almost.
And like you're setting up these scenes,
Right.
You're setting up these like things to go viral. I'm not saying that is all of it. I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised if there's someone right now crafting ways to make things go viral. Because you know, with TikTok now, especially, what Vine was, with the meta becoming what it is going to be with NFTs and how we're seeing things start to shape and people, you know, all it takes is, you know, it's not necessarily how great the quality of content is. It's more so just what you have backing that or like how many people are into it. Because, you know, think about at that point in time, anyone could have slapped Island Boy something onto something and sold it.
Well, I mean, like realistically, it's kind of like two separate things. I feel like you do obviously have like people out there that are putting money into avenues to create viral spaces of content. But also you have people out there that are using their children, families, fucking even parents and things like that as content. You know what I mean? Like, or dogs. Like, how many dogs have Instagrams? Like, real. You know what I mean? Like, with as many people that are out there maliciously trying to create content for money, there's probably just as much people out there that have no reason to maliciously make content for money, but still do anyways. It's almost the norm. Like, if you're creating content, you're probably doing it for a buck.
Yeah.
In today's world, you know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of people working on passion projects, and if they are, it's not because they're doing it for free. And, like, realistically, that's kind of where everybody wants to be. It's like you always want to be doing something you're passionate about and be able to get paid for it. But to have that sole purpose of the creation be a monetary value is kind of lame.
What I'm saying, though, is I think there are going to be people who will start to, like, go towards that. You know what I mean? Especially with, like I said, with where the NFT space is going and then seeing people such as the Island Boys or the guy who did the Ocean Spray commercials. Riding down, like, listen to Fleetwood Mac, where he's riding on a longboard and he has the ocean spray in his hand. One video, and that guy got a deal. Like, what the fuck is that? And just on top of that, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's going to be people, like, companies and people that are trying to work on that because they know it's going to make money and they're going to be able to advertise whatever they're doing. But, of course, I think there are going to also be people that do it because that's just who they are. Like, you look at Casey Frey. That dude literally makes the dumbest fucking videos.
But who's to say there's not somebody behind him? There's not who's to say there's not a talent manager that's telling him what to say in all these videos and how to dance and a choreographer behind it and everything. It's like, I'm not saying that there is that. I couldn't say that. I don't know anybody on his team or anything, like really anything to do with his content. Other than just like what I see on Twitter that are reposts of people using his content as an emoticon or something like that. And things like, but like realistically, I don't know the man. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about his team. But to say that doesn't have that would be a stretch. To say he does would be a stretch. It's just that random with this shit. It's like people could either pop off on their own or have an entire backing that allows them to pop off. It's up to the eye of the beholder at that point. Like how deeply are you looking into this for you to enjoy this content?
I'm saying it's an art form in the sense that I don't think he has a team personally. I'm just gonna say that. I think he just his mind is weird. Like he's got like it's because it's just you look at it, you're like that is dumb, but somehow it works. And I love all the stuff he posts, but it's just going back to okay, there's good content, and then there's content. Whenever the Island Boys drop, you like this is ass. I was like, is it?
Yeah.
Or is it so bad it's good?
It's just bad. But, I mean, the only good part about it is that you're able to laugh at it.
Was The Room bad?
The only good part about it is that you were able to laugh at
So
it.
is that in a form good? It's an art form.
No.
Being bad is good.
It's a
like
bad song. It's a bad movie. But it's a good cult classic or something because
entertainment.
that much people were laughing at it. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like
Sharknado.
the difference, like you keep saying stuff, the difference is that people laugh at these things.
Yeah.
Doesn't make them good.
I mean, it doesn't make them bad.
It
Good
does.
is perception.
To the idea of what a movie is, it's like it's for sure Sharknado. But like realistically, what you're looking at is something that's underdeveloped, underfunded, under fucking produced. Everything is like under the bar. And I say that because yes, there is a fucking bar to what is good music, good like yes, it's subjective,
Yeah.
but that I don't know anybody that's jamming the Island Boys.
Genuinely, yeah.
Genuinely.
But it's like there are people
so
out
genuinely, it would be a bad song. Genuinely, it would be a bad movie. But yes, there are that many people out there. There are 7 billion people on the planet. Someone's gonna like it. Someone's gonna laugh at it. Someone's gonna say it's good. Apparently, you're that someone.
I'm saying in the sense of art, it's just it's good in the sense that
It's a money grab. It's
well, for some,
literally
yeah.
no for
Well, Sharknado's not a money grab.
Yes, it is. They made like 7 of them. It's probably easy as fuck to make, cheap as shit. And there's that there's gonna be people during Shark Week that are like, yeah, I'll throw it on.
Dude, that shit's hilarious.
Let's just be real. That's,
It's
that's
bad,
all that it is.
But you love it for what it is.
No.
It's like when you go into Waffle House, do you go in for great service and a top tier?
No, you go in for cheap food, and that's it. Cheap food that's always open? Yes. That's what Waffle House is. Is it the best food? Fuck no. Is
I
it
don't know,
entertaining?
arguable.
Not always. Sometimes Waffle House is boring as shit because you're expecting to walk in there and see a fight or some workers not giving a fuck about their job or even some random ass fucking people that are in there as customers just wilding out. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you're in that bitch by yourself eating some horrible food
Hey, the
because you
food
only
is
had
good.
$10
Don't let
on
them
you.
talk to you. Like, don't. Waffle House food is absolutely fuego.
Everything outside of the waffle is ass.
Dude,
and
no.
it's not hard to make a waffle.
You're wrong.
I'm not.
Patty melt, fire. Philly cheesesteak sandwich, fire.
In comparison to what?
Hash brown bowls, fire.
In comparison to
IHOP.
what?
Denny's, bro.
Fuck, but those
Anywhere.
aren't good places either. You're naming other breakfast spots that also suck.
Hey, bro.
Is it better than Snooze?
No.
All right, why not?
Well,
Why not?
I don't know.
What about First Watch?
that Philly cheesesteak sandwich kind of hits hard.
Is that Philly cheesesteak sandwich better than? Is it the best Philly cheesesteak sandwich you've ever had?
It's probably up there, top 3.
For the price, probably.
top 3. It's top 3. I feel like, because I feel like someone
You're
made
disgracing the entire
I
city
feel-
of Philadelphia right
Dude.
now.
Because I feel like someone, like it's just like someone's grandma was back there making it.
No, you can see who's making
Exactly,
it.
it's someone's
It's not
grandma.
someone's grandma. It's probably a felon or
And that's how I know that hoe's hitting.
or someone's
That
auntie.
shit is good. That's how you know it's good.
Fuck no.
It's fucking fire. Probably got sweat. I probably got
Absolutely
sweat in my
not.
food.
The eggs missable. The
The-
fucking
oh, the eggs
meats
aren't good.
missable.
The what?
The hash browns missable.
Oh, I don't know.
They're
Hash
all
browns kinda hit
missable, dog.
sometimes. Hash browns are hitting sometimes.
No, dude.
That apple butter on the toast. You're really disrespecting Waffle House.
I'm not. I'm calling it for what it is. It's not good food.
It's
It's
good.
cheap, and it's always open. But is it good?
Yes.
No.
Yes. And that's where my point lies. It's like, is this stuff good?
Okay, whiskey
Arguable.
cake brunch or Waffle House at 2 a.m.
A Waffle House 2 a.m. all day, bro.
Fuck no.
Yes, easy pick.
Fuck no.
Easy. I love. Hey, shouts out Whiskey Cake though. You should come check us out. Check out our brunch. I'm
Come
there.
sit in my section on Saturday mornings if you like this.
But Waffle House 2 a.m. Come on, bro. I'll eat
By
man,
yourself
maybe.
or with a date?
Hey,
that's worse.
hey, if I'm with a
Where are we
date.
going tonight, baby?
Hey, honestly, if we're
You gotta wait till 1:30 so we can hit that 2 a.m. Waffle House ride.
honestly, if it's late night and we're both craving Waffle House, she might be the one. I'm like, man, I'm kind of hungry. We're both like Waffle House.
You realize for that $10 breakfast, you could probably make like 5 of what you're getting.
Hey, bro.
For $10, you could probably get like 3 waffles, like 7 eggs, fucking
But am I getting the love
fuck
that
ton of
comes
hash
with
browns. You could put all the love in yourself and save your money.
it? My
No,
point is,
I'm not trying to say that like cheap options aren't acceptable, but I am trying to say is they're not great. They are cheap options for a reason. McDonald's runs this country because of consumerism
I'm gonna say it this way.
and how cheap it is.
I'm gonna put it this way. Vince Staples said it best. He said, "I only go to 5-star places." He said, "Waffle House, 5 stars, bro, in its own respect. Like I'm not going to Waffle House for fucking gourmet, fucking, you know, like
Correct, but if
like
you
fine
want
dining.
gourmet food, you're not going to
But
Waffle House.
You're going to Waffle House because you know what you're getting. It's 5-star restaurant.
It's a 5-star restaurant in its own category.
Exactly.
But it doesn't make it
That's
a
why-
5-star food.
Dude, it's a
That's what we've been talking about. You're talking about the restaurant, the vibe, the time you come in, the fucking whether or not you're drunk, who's cooking your food. You
Alright.
have no guarantees on that unless you are a regular at a Waffle
We need
House and know
comments.
the lady cooking your shit.
We need comments. Waffle House or nah. Waffle House or die.
That's not the fucking question.
Waffle
here.
House.
Is Waffle House acceptably good food?
Yes,
Fuck no.
it is.
By what standard?
going
It's
back-
probably 2-star food, but a 5-star restaurant.
All right.
How about that?
Going back to this.
No, I'm sorry. 1.5-star
Alright.
food, but a 5-star restaurant.
I'm going to give you a list of 5-star things right now. Waffle House. Sharknado. The Room.
This might be the only one.
Island Boys.
No.
Nah, they're 3 stars because they didn't. You got to hone in on your shitty. You got to own in on it, and they just got greedy. You got to, if you're a joke, you got to play into that part. You got to, dude, this man, Andy Kaufman, wrestled women for like,
To put him in the same
Days.
conversation or sentence as the other things you just said is
Is it-
extremely disrespectful.
to him, yeah. But the thing was, like, he was a jokester, but he didn't ever let up.
Correct.
He honed in on it. You got to.
He wasn't even a comedian at that point. He was just
A dickhead.
like a laugh track.
Dude, this man was wrestling, pissing people off because he kept wrestling women and beating them. He was like wrestling. He's like, who's gonna beat me next? And just kept winning on purpose against these women. And he was wrestling, and they're like, I'm next.
That's hilarious.
And he just kept beating their ass over and over again. And they're like, that's fucked up. He was like, equal rights, bitch. But yeah, it annoyed people. But he was he was a showman at heart, and he just never let up. It was
Correct.
real world. Like no one knew, you know.
Correct.
But that's why he was so big.
See, but like what I'm trying to get at is like, what's a 5-star food but like a 2-star restaurant? Because that's about what the opposite of Waffle House is.
No,
Yeah.
Waffle
yeah.
House is like 5-star food,
No.
5-star restaurant.
Fuck no. Absolutely fucking not.
You know what? And I'll let you know. This is how you know. I walk in, and they sit me at a table with dirty shit on it.
They don't sit you, period.
Yeah.
You sit yourself. So if you're sitting at a dirty table, Daniel.
No. There was one time I walked in. It was busy. All the tables were full.
Except for one that was dirty
And
as
no,
shit.
this lady was like, "Yeah, come on, you can sit right here." And she worked there. She's like, "There's a table open right here." And we sit down. She's like, "I just need to clean it off real quick." We waited 10 minutes for her to come back and wipe the table down. But I enjoyed
Is that a
every
5-star
moment.
restaurant?
I love that. I enjoyed every moment.
So you're a Buffalo Wild Wings fan?
I came into Waffle House and got 2 waters for 6 people.
You love B-dubs then, don't you?
Nah, B-Dubs sucks.
Why?
That's bad vibes.
Why?
It's not the vibes aren't there.
Why?
'Cause they're trying to be more than what they are.
Isn't Waffle House doing that?
No.
Why? How so?
Dude, those motherfuckers sometimes are smoking cigarettes inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What does that have to do with the food or the restaurant?
It's 'cause you just know what you're going to get.
You know what you're gonna get with B-dubs too. Horrible service, mediocre wings, and maybe a fairly priced beer. But it's very popular.
I don't-
People go there all the
I
time.
don't go there
Anytime
that
you walk in, it's pretty fucking busy.
I don't go there that
Does that make it a 5-star restaurant?
No, fuck B-Dubs.
That's the only thing that you made Waffle House a 5-star restaurant. You know what you're gonna get.
It's better.
It's usually busy, so people love it.
Fuck B-Dubs, so.
All right, dude. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot of places that are very popular that really fucking suck. And that has mostly to do with like the profit margin that people get off of owning a restaurant. That
Right.
sucks.
We're getting off
Think about
track.
Geo's. You remember the fucking straws we used to have?
Gio's is 5 stars.
In what regard?
Hometown pizzeria, bro.
Give me New York Pizzeria or Russo's or anything else.
No, dude.
Geo's isn't bad as far as the pizza goes. The restaurant itself, the food outside of the pizza,
Solid. Some of it.
The chicken tenders are never cooked first and
Oh, the
foremost.
chicken
How do
tender-
you fuck up chicken tenders?
Those are not it. Yeah, I would.
If you fuck up chicken tenders, do you think I want to trust anything else on this menu?
Hey, the rest
Their
of
mac and cheese is Kraft Mac
that mac and
in
cheese-
a bag.
Yeah, that shit kind of it's not it. But like that's the kids' food. They definitely undersold on the kids' food. Big
It's
time.
they undersold on every piece of the menu.
Nah, bro, that penny Roma kind of goes hard.
It's like maybe the only thing, and that's because they added so much shit in there.
It's
They're
pretty
like,
fire.
you don't gotta taste the pasta.
Hey, that penny sugar rosa
I like the sauce,
is fire. Or
but
the,
honestly, it's not as good as it could be. Joel made a sugar roasted
San
one time.
Guerrero?
That shit was way better.
the San Guerrero. Not
That's
bad.
Not great.
So I like it. It's
It's
just
very simple.
Italian sausage,
Literally
bell peppers.
Penne pasta, marinara sauce, sausage, and peppers. It's the simplest dish. To serve that as a dish and call it anything but pasta and sausage, to say sangarero. It's like, what are you doing
If we're
here,
being-
bro?
If we're being honest, that's any Italian restaurant.
I'm still on the notion of thinking that Gio's was a front for some type of like cartel corporation or some shit. 'Cause like, come on, dog. I can name like 7 more that you'd probably say, nah, it's fucking good. That aren't good. It's not good food.
No, like Olive Garden ass, bro.
See, and that's like one where I might disagree with you on. At least Olive Garden has a fucking variety of options.
And none of them are good.
Not all of them are bad.
None of them are good. Like,
Not all of them are bad.
pretty
I fuck with their
bottom-
chicken and gnocchi soup.
Pretty bottom tier.
Italian food, yeah. But I mean,
ass.
it's easy to fuck up Italian food in the way that you can buy a lot of low products like your cheeses, sauces.
Oh, yeah, and cook that shit yourself.
pastas. No. What I'm saying is these restaurants find the best price that they can get, not the best quality products that they can get.
Oh, 100%.
So for sure they're gonna be lacking on their food products if you know they don't give a fuck about their customers. AE Waffle House.
I disagree.
Do you know what you're eating
No.
in that dough of the waffle, or the like where those eggs are coming from, or what type of
Farm
hash
to
browns
Fork
you're
Garden.
getting? Fuck no.
Glass,
And I'm not
locally
saying you
sourced.
should know that across everything, but like realistically, I feel like there's got to be a standard for good
Hey,
food.
just a quick shameless plug though. Hey, Whiskey Cake, Farm to Fork Garden to Glass, come through, see me. I'm working almost every day, so I'll be
I
in there.
hate my life.
I'll be in there. Hey, no, but we're missing the point. Going back,
The point is that Waffle House fucking blows.
that wasn't the point. I was wrapping back around. The whole point on that was just that conceptually, art in a way is, even though when it's bad, there can be an art form to being so bad that it is good, in the sense that it may not be good,
But it's
what
not
you
good.
think.
That's what I'm saying. Is it might be like funny to laugh at,
Exactly.
or
Is that not sometimes that's what you, if you're that's what you're trying to elicit, then that's good.
in what restaurant are they trying to elicit? You should laugh at us and not take us seriously.
Waffle House.
Exactly, dude.
Exactly my
But
point.
no, that doesn't make it good, brother. That makes it horrible in the best way.
Exactly.
But that doesn't make it good.
If
Two wrongs don't make a
if
right.
it's horrible in the best way, is it not good?
Two wrongs don't
That's a
make
medium,
right.
right? It's happening.
3 lefts somehow make a right, but that doesn't mean you took the right direction to get there.
But you ended up in the same spot.
No.
It was the friends you made along the way.
That spot is let's go to Waffle House. Not I like Waffle House's food. You know what I mean? Like the
Alright,
spot
that
is
caught
just
up on
like
Waffle House way too much. That was
but
not
okay, so like go back to like movies. That's what I'm saying. Like the spot is let's watch The Room. Not I really think The Room is a good movie, conceptually fucking well produced and well written. It was executed
Look,
perfectly. It was actually a really great movie.
I'll give you another
Nobody's
example.
meeting on that notion.
I'll give you another example that you're not gonna agree on. But remember those ghost pepper chips? I really liked those.
You didn't.
I did.
You were in pain the
But
whole
I
time.
loved them. They had a good taste to them. But they were hot. But also, I only wanted other people to try them because I knew that they would fuck people up because they were hot.
So that didn't make them good.
were
That
good.
made them entertaining.
And they were good. I
to
liked them.
laugh at.
I liked them. I thought
But
they
you
were
were the only one that liked them, so subjectively they weren't good because how many people did you let try them?
Joel thought they were good.
So 2 out of 25?
No, I only let like 4 people try.
Fuck no, you
Five.
got that bag multiple times and had
For me,
people
I
try
ate
it.
most of them.
And let people try it every single time
No,
you've gotten
I
to
only
that
let
bag.
the only people I let try was you. Didn't try them. You refused to.
Because I told you I wasn't
So
going
it's
to try
Tom-
something that was bad.
Tommy, Jerry, and Joel, and I'm the 4th one. So 2 out
that
of 4
was
thought
that
it was good.
night. That's what I'm saying. That night, that's
That's
all
it.
of the people that tried it.
Those are the only people I got to try it.
Ever.
Yeah.
You're capping.
And promise.
You've gotten them before that night or after that night. I don't remember
Yeah.
if it was before or when the timeline was. And
I
that
finished that whole
time,
bag myself.
fuck no.
I did.
You're lying.
I'm not.
You're cap.
You're making shit up. 'Cause
You're
I
Captain
did,
America.
I ate the whole thing. Did my stomach hurt the next day? Yes, it did. That shit tore my shit up. But did I get another bag? Yes.
So you're stupid then is all I'm hearing out
No,
of
they're
this.
good, dude.
I destroyed my insides. Nobody else liked them. And they brought me nothing but pain. But I will buy another bag.
Hey, life is pain, baby. Let's go. But here we are.
Most people that say life is pain are like, doing something with their lives, not
Look,
fucking eating a bag of chips.
all I'm saying is my whole point to get around to where this motherfucker got stuck on Waffle House.
I got stuck on you thinking that
Was
anything that's bad is good because it's good in certain aspects of it being
With
bad.
the way that memes are going and then just NFTs and us being in the metaverse, I think that it's just like it's going to become a fine line where it's just like it's how we always talk about it. It's like, are we advertising for something right now?
Yeah.
Where people are just going to become personalities? It's like, is that even a real person or is that just a person playing a person for something else? You know what I mean?
I mean, that already exists.
Like acting, but it's like
that already exists.
I know, but that's what I'm thinking. Like we were talking about, it's like Andy Kaufman. Or when
Think
you
about how many TikTok stars don't have that name, whatever their name is for their TikTok or their fucking channel or whatever. Who's to say that's their real name? That was upstairs.
I was thinking that, like Andy Kaufman or I can't think of his name right now. Fucking dude, how am I drawing a blank? He's crazy. Smashes plates over his head. Eric Andre.
Okay.
That's another one. You know what I mean? He could be like that in real life.
You're saying that's another one, but like there's millions of people like that.
Yeah.
There's millions of people that aren't themselves for the sake of either a joke, a scene, a fucking production, whatever it is. There's so many productions every year. Like, you got to think that.
And you can sell stuff with memes. That's what I'm saying. You could just become like a meme. You could be someone
true,
who's
but
just like.
It doesn't even have to be
icon.
funny.
It doesn't.
Andrew Garfield could sell Spider-Man merch right now. Why? He's not Spider-Man anymore. But he could still fucking pass it off. This Spider-Man shirt that I just bought yesterday was actually worn in the filming of Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know what I mean? It's like, who's to say he's not Peter Parker? Any kid that sees him in the streets can be like, that's Peter Parker.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, it's just.
So realistically, it doesn't have to be a meme. It doesn't have to be good, bad, ugly. It only has to be something that has already had traction.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was like with viral stuff and just like, I mean, I was saying that it could be good to somebody, but you're right. Subjectively, it doesn't have to be either or. All that matters is that it has like some kind of notoriety or like traction, and that's where I'm going. Is so if
to bring back to bring a parallel to like what this is like, think about it this way: just as many kids that bought John Cena shirts whenever they were WWE fans bought Edge shirts. The hero and the villain of the story, you know, it's like realistically. They paint this picture that John Cena's the good guy and that Edge is the bad guy and he's this rated R superstar and John Cena's this like loyalty, respect, da-da-da-da-da type of person, right?
Yeah.
But realistically, Edge is selling just as much tickets, if not fucking like autographs and things like that.
He's helping
like
bring in the crowd.
That's nobody knows him as his real name. Nobody knows John Cena for his real name. Whatever the fuck it is.
Does he even have a real name?
I don't know if that's
is
his
it John
stage name.
Cena?
I don't think so.
At this point, did we even know?
Like, did you know The Undertaker was married to Stacy Keibler?
No.
Like, that man has a completely different life outside of wrestling.
But
well, he's more of like a conservative figure. I wouldn't really like use him as a
not
great example.
But it just so where I'm at is like, what if there are these companies at this point just creating?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. So that's one of the many that
it's his real name.
Right. It's John Felix Anthony Cena. I did not see
that's
that.
That's a long ass name, bro.
But yeah, like The Undertaker, Edge, Kane, like none of these. That's not their real name, but they could still sell for whatever it is, being that person, no matter what's going on, no matter what time frame it is. There's probably still Hardy Boys being sold to this day. It's not in right now. It's not even wasn't even in at that time. It had a specific target audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's still able to generate just as much marketability as your favorite Paw Patrol.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. It's just, I mean, at a point where it's just like clicks and views and traction.
But it's been that way.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's getting even more so. We're diving like deeper into to that. And like that's what I'm saying is like when you have like the way that literally how people are saying is like NFTs are just pictures, bro. I mean, but they have deeper applications. So what if it's just, you know, a meme? You just a meme, this meme unlocks this, or this meme's able to do this. And then so there could be companies out there marketing just like, all right, we're going to create some stupid ass shit. We're going to set up just like this scenario. You're going to look dumb as fuck. Just make your way look stupid. Make like set up the characters, set up the scene, and then that way, like you're their age, like that,
It's
like
just
they have
acting
agents and
without
shit.
film.
Yeah, it's like a different form. You know what I'm saying?
Not really. It's the same form. In the same way that you want to dive into a character so that through film it looks like as if you're truly that character and not Sandra Bullock, then it takes a certain level of commitment on your end and on the back end for people to truly treat you as if you are that role.
That's crazy. I think it just like
So, I mean,
it's
it's the
becoming
same
more,
thing.
It is.
It's
I think
just-
it's becoming more realistic. Just like with online, just like Island Boys, people are like,
I think
they
it's
really like that,
right.
or are they actors?
Like in the way that like you'll see certain actors shade off like 50, 70 pounds for a role or take on 50 to 70 pounds for a role. It's like that's the same level of commitment that these Island Boys are getting by having all these fucking tattoos and being ridiculous.
The only difference, in my opinion, is like most of the time when you're watching movies and films and stuff, you know that's acting. I think that
Yes.
just figuring out the fine line some of these times between what's real and what's not, and like people online and like looking
you
to
do,
certain
but
things.
only because you're the viewer. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Is
what
like
I'm saying.
for anyone else in that movie, conceptually at least, they wouldn't see that person as an actor.
Yeah,
The only reason you do is because you know their real name.
Yeah, I'm talking about the viewership though. It's just like
Oh.
whenever you're looking at it and like as a consumer, you know what I mean? Like fine line between what's real and what's not, and you
Well,
know,
it's
and
all real.
consumer.
That's the problem, is that it's all real.
Especially like echo chambers online when you have Twitter and stuff. You
That's
know,
still a real thing.
so you know,
it's really limited, but it's still
I
real.
know, and people are looking towards things for certain opinions, and some of
Yeah.
that, like online is real as much as it's not.
Well,
And that's what the fine line for me is going to be crazy, especially when we start like getting deeper into that faction of just people just trying to sell themselves, and we're
Right.
all like, are we all just advertisements
Well,
for other
true,
shit? You
but,
know what I
like,
mean? Like, come on.
From an argument I've heard in the past, I don't remember who was talking about it, but it was kind of like along the lines of saying, "Fuck, I just lost my train of thought." Fuck, I forgot what I was about to say. Damn,
Nice.
that shit just happened.
Good job. I'm just
Fuck
saying,
yeah.
is just, are we all just going to become one big selling point
Right.
for everything? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that what life is going towards? Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was talking.
Okay, I remember. I'm sorry. So like, what I was there's an argument that I heard is like to say that anything isn't natural, to say that it's not like natural to this world is like, isn't that kind of a stretch? Because anything that we make that's man-made, it's technically natural because we made it out of the things that were already here on this earth. And since we're natural to this planet, anything we create on this planet would therefore be a natural occurrence. Correct?
That's all arguable.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's an argument. It's no proof behind it. It's hard to even say that we are natural to this planet.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm saying. Are the things that we have here?
correct. So, but what I was gonna say is that like in that there are these pockets of people like you're talking about. It's like this isn't real. This isn't the only existence that there is, but it is really a part of our existence. So realistically, you have to like treat it as if it is like there. You know what I mean? That goes with everything. Like straight up like people that are discriminatory online or people that are pushing for discrimination to end. It's on both sides of that like coin.
And I think, and there's people that just do stuff for the
Right.
entertainment purposes. I think that's what I'm saying is we're diving like into depths that we have not seen yet before. We
But
have in certain
I don't
aspects.
agree with that. Because,
But-
I mean, Soulja Boy existed fucking, 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, he's that.
I'm just saying, like,
He's even more that now.
in terms
with
of diving
fucking
in,
this Draco personality
I think
that
in a
he's put
sense
on.
you're missing part of what I'm saying.
No, I'm catching it. What I'm saying is that it's all so much more apparent now. It's not that like I don't see it as the lines being blurred. I see it as being clear.
But when we're in, like, I'm saying, like, when meta
Clarity.
becomes a bigger thing, we're in a virtual world. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
it's going to be a
And
lot easier to determine what's real and what's not.
I think it's gonna be a lot harder.
I don't think
I
so.
think we're gonna be in a world where it's just like everything's kind of just like a blur.
So then everything is
Like
exactly.
everything's not. It's, I guess everything's just as much real as it's not real,
So
and
then
it's like.
that's what I'm saying. It's like it's
But people are gonna get lost in that. I think.
yes, if you allow yourself to, but
It's
that's
gonna be easy
that's another conversation about escapism. It would be easy to, but it's just as easy to fucking stick a needle of heroin in your arm. Like realistically,
It's similar.
what I'm saying is that
It's
like
similar.
what I'm saying is straight up to say that it's going to be more blurry is an assumption. To say it'll be more clear is an assumption. But realistically, we don't fucking know. And we don't even know if any of this shit will come into fruition. We don't know if there'll be a fucking massive meteor that crashes tomorrow and destroys the planet. But, like, realistically, when you look at this shit from a, like, an objective point of view, it does seem very clear and real who's doing things for the genuinity of what they're doing and who's doing things for a marketability aspect. Like, think about the fucking musical artists that heard last year they couldn't go to, like, put on shows anymore. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that, but still found a way to go from nobody to somebody. The people that are going to be in fucking XXL magazine next year, like, what type of stage did they have to set themselves apart?
You mean what?
What type of stage did they have to set themselves apart from the, like, masses? What I'm saying is, like, whenever you have, like, an XXL freshman, it's, like, usually 12 to 13 people that proved that they were above, like, heads and shoulders above, like, all of the other new artists that are up and coming,
but even
right?
now, that's kind of been dwindling down and
True.
washed out. So
True, but what I was going to get to is that, like, there are going to be seldom people that are doing it for the love of the game. And in that, you should be able to tell who those people are. Realistically, I don't know if everyone has, like, those type of, I guess, differentiation skills, if that's how you would say that. But really, if you don't, then, like, that's kind of you victimizing yourself to say that I don't know what's going on. It could be real or not. You know what I mean? It's like, well, just do a little bit of fucking research.
Yeah, you're giving people a lot of credit, personally, in my opinion.
But also to take that much credit away from people is
it's
kind of. If it's uncharted areas, uncharted territory, and unknown pieces of, like, not just media but also technology, then
I'm saying there's also
who's to take credit away from people?
There's gonna be a lot of kids growing up in like this era too, and kids are easily influenced by anything and everything,
True,
and it's hard for them. Like, think
in
about it, like
this
when you're
era,
young, when
kids are easily influencing.
and when you're
everything
that's
and
true.
stuff like that.
So when
like,
you're young, that's my point.
You're taking credit away from every child just to
No.
say by saying that they're. And I'm not saying that they're not impressionable, but what I'm saying is in today's era, there's a lot of children making impressions on people, changing. Like, this is JoJo Siwa girl or whatever. It's like, how the fuck is she famous? How?
Because she dresses up and looks.
She dressed up like a little
kid.
like a little kid, like, type shit. The fucking elementary school kid or fifth grader or whatever that was on national television talking about, like, climate change and shit like that. Greta, whatever her name was, Greta Thunberg or whatever. It's like, think about how many people she's influenced. Like, these are children. To say that children are impressionable, so think about, like, what that could do. But children are impressioning children right now. Like, that's kind of the thing. Like, the thing that I had a problem with like, more than obviously the demonic bullshit that happened at Astroworld. But that was one of the issues that was for me. Everybody was talking about, like, is that a child at the festival? Is that a kid that I see? Why would you bring your kid over there? Like, Travis Scott has had multiple kid campaigns.
Oh yeah.
He has a lot of children fans.
Yeah.
And so, like, to say that shouldn't have been thought about or that shouldn't have been prepared for is insane. It's completely wild that nobody thought about the kids and that people are even saying kids shouldn't be there.
I mean, that was for sure. You knew kids were going to be there. He put it as all ages, and majority of his campaigns are towards kids.
Exactly.
McDonald's campaign,
Fortnite.
Fortnite. Come on, bro.
Like, let's just be honest with this shit. You know what I mean? It's like, honestly, all of that shit was fake but real. So, like, what I'm saying is like, all of those campaigns that he's doing to have, like, this connection with kids, like, that's not real. You can tell because of the profit margins that he's seeing off of that shit. And so I'm not saying he doesn't give a fuck about children. I can't go that far. What I can say is that, like, to say he's impressionable on children would obviously be true, but to say that he's the most impressionable on children, I'd probably say not.
But
there's a lot of kid gamers and kid YouTube channels that have a lot more fucking impact on kids these days, type shit.
I'd say that, but then you also have stupid ass shit like on YouTube Kids. Most of that shit is dumb, bro.
Well, true.
There's like educational shit on there
most
too.
Most of that's centered, like, towards ages 5 and below. You know what I mean? Maybe even like 7 and below. But anything like from 8 to 14 right now, I mean, we could, like, obviously treat them as children, like, preserve their childhoods as much as you possibly can, but let's stop acting like these kids aren't businessmen of their own type shit.
Yeah. But I mean, that's also, I think, where people exploit that as well.
Try to.
They do. That's
but
why you have those family things and, like.
But it's not
kids.
always It doesn't always happen that way.
But that's where I'm going. Is like the deeper we dive into this, I think you're gonna start seeing a lot more. Just like we're selling ourselves. You know what I mean?
But isn't that kind of
we're selling our
going against the idea of the entire thing? The metaverse, the NFTs, the like. It's like to say that we're
toning
selling
in on yourself.
ourselves,
I guess is
well, true. But what I'm saying is to say that we're selling ourselves and that's a bad thing.
It's not.
Would be to say that this whole metaverse would be similar to.
I mean, it would also be going against our podcast in a sense too. You know, I mean,
in what way?
Like in the fact that, like, I mean, we're doing this because we love it, but it's also the fact of like, if we were to make money off of it, we would be just making money off of.
I think that's you're able to say that if you create episodes for that purpose.
But I'm saying also,
seeing as that we've been doing this for 3.5 years now and haven't seen a single dime.
It's also just like I'm saying the fine line, like. Anyone could be like, oh, they are genuine. They do this.
They
but
could.
We could also be just writing characters.
Correct. But what I'm trying to say is that like, I think it's a lot easier to differentiate between that. I don't think that our episodes would be as poorly produced and have as many technical difficulties if we were doing this for the money. Like there would be somebody above us in that chain of command that doesn't allow that to happen because they're now losing money based on our inability to perform. And so therefore it's like I think you can easily dictate things like that.
I think we'll find out. I think
Personally.
we're going to see.
Because I mean,
I think there's going to be such a fine line between what's real and what's not. You're going to be like, yeah, it's easy for people to differentiate, but maybe.
I mean, in the same way that is it not easy to differentiate between like relatively, obviously it's subjective, but relatively good music and relatively bad music?
And that's also I mean, I think there's a lot of music that's bad and that people love, and then there's a lot of people that the music I listen to that people think are bad.
Correct.
But I love. So
right.
I don't
Is there a fine line between your kid's shitty song on a recorder and Tame Impala? No, right? Because you can easily tell that one is massively produced on a very big scale. It's done really well. It's done very well. And one's obviously a beginner just learning how to do some things and getting started. It's like it's a clear-cut example. Maybe in 5 years when your kid's fucking working a flute or a piccolo or some shit and it sounds fucking like Tchaikovsky or whatever, then we might have a conversation about what's real and what's not. But even at that level, you can show the people like the years on end that your son was practicing his flute and doing all this shit, you know what I mean? And I guess at some level that might be the parents' exploitation of their children. But like that's your kid.
I think the internet. I'm just saying the internet's a crazy thing, and it's just like when we start playing more into the roles and niches of who we are. I mean, and we're gonna probably. I'm not gonna say we won't be a part of that later down the road, but it's just like playing into the niches of humanity and like the roles of humanity, and then just like it being one big cycle of like buying and selling and selling and buying. You know what I mean? And just that's constantly kind of what life will become in a sense.
It's already been that way.
It has been that way.
I mean, like.
But digitally, it's just kind of crazier seeing it like dive deeper
Ask
into
any adult what they think about the most. It's probably finances.
100%.
So like realistically, it's like it's gonna be that way until we see some type of like world-changing currency. Like I guess crypto could offer some type of changes in that field. But realistically, like people are always gonna be worried about whether or not they can get the bills paid. At least in our lifetime, I don't see any protocols being set before us where people don't got to worry about rent no more. Like I mean, it's like a lovely thought, but the execution of that is probably not possible.
It's just like, what if one day you're like in the metaverse, whatever, virtual reality, you're just walking around, and then like someone's like talking to you, and you think it's a real conversation. It's like, dude, I love Mrs. Butterworth's fucking syrup. Something you're like, it's like those moments we have, and you're just like, am I in an advertisement right now? Like, do I know?
Exactly.
Like, you don't even know. You're like, is this am I in a commercial?
I mean,
is this? It's like this simple Rick.
Yeah.
It's constantly you're just like, fuck.
Well, I mean, it's not.
Are we all a
it's
part
just
of
like
it?
Truman Show actions, you know what I mean? Like, but on a technological level, I guess. Because I mean, there can be crazy people like we talked about earlier. It's like whenever you feel like something's going on, but then you attribute it to something, you sound crazy. It's like you're not all that crazy if you feel that your entire life is based on the advertisement and sales of major corporations' products.
Because it's just like, what are you being fed? digitally? You know, what are you listening to? What are you watching constantly? How does that affect what you do in your daily actions?
Or the person that you are, even like behind the scenes. You know what I mean? The thought processes
And it's like,
you have.
am I even? It's like it goes back to we've said somewhere. Am I myself, or am I just a culmination of a bunch of things that I've just
well?
seen
Why
or
is
heard?
why is the answer being both not acceptable? Because you are yourself in the way that everything you saw and heard kind of like
Influence what you are. And who you
influence
are.
to the thought processes you have, the ideals you have, the beliefs you have. Sometimes like in a counterproductive way, like if you were always a Catholic when you were a kid, then maybe you might explore different religions or being an atheist or something like that. And in a counterproductive, like kind of I was impressioned by this and I knew that it wasn't for me, so then I tended to go to different avenues and things like that. But I just don't see how that would be any different than today. I don't see how there being a person in a metaverse that's using your avatar or whatever for their product to be sold in a normal conversation. I don't know how that's any different than me being at the store and saying, "Nah, you know what? I like Hunt's ketchup a little bit more."
I think it'll be like more subliminal for sure. I think like the more it'll
How
just be
much more subliminal could you get though?
I mean, as the shorter like our attention spans go, it's just gonna be like fast, rapid, everything, dude. It's just like
But that's what I'm saying. It's
we're
like, is it not
connected.
already like that? Are we not already experiencing similar fucking advertisements in our daily lives that we
Yeah.
don't feel should exist?
Yeah.
So what's the difference? If
I
that
mean,
were to happen then in the metaverse, then what's the difference?
so you think
that
it couldn't
happened?
get worse?
What I'm saying is it could get worse, but I don't think it'd be more subliminal. It's already fucking like if that thought process and like thought experiment were to be true, then there is already someone somewhere that is controlling you and I's conversations to each other to promote Mrs. Butterworth's. Could it get worse than that?
Fuck.
That's
Bam!
That's what I'm trying to say. It's like I don't know how much more subliminal you could get, but other than like entering my dreams and saying Mrs. Butterworth.
People are thinking about that. Like you just have a dream and there's like just like it's like that, you know, when you're watching a movie and there's just like a little thing on the counter.
Yeah.
What if you're having a dream and it's just like you're eating waffles in your dream and then it's like just a little thing and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Was
like
that my dream or did
like
someone
the
place it?
spin thing?
No, I'm saying like what if like
Oh, you mean like in the dream?
like what
you're
if I'm
watching a
eating
movie
waffles in my dream
and you see
and there's
in
like an
the-
Eggo thing
Got you.
on the fucking table and you're just
Yeah.
like wake up, you're like I could go for some Eggo waffles.
Yeah.
You're like fuck. Is
See,
that what I want?
Yeah.
Or like
I mean,
what is going?
or am I being programmed to think that type shit?
Fuck yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not that far fetched at this point.
I mean, with the idea of like dreaming at all, just having visions while your brain is asleep. Or
would it
body
be possible
is asleep.
like the meta just gets so real like you forget it's Matrix.
Like when did all of us turn into That's So Raven? You just go to sleep every night, get a random ass vision, and have to piece it together just to solve a fucking episode.
Fuck. That's what I'm saying. It's like, are we really being ourselves, or is this a culminate? You know what I mean? Like, are we doing this now of our own
Yes.
free will, or is it based off of
Well,
other
I mean,
people's things that?
ideally, your dog's free will is based off of the limitations you set before it. So to say it doesn't have free will would be a lie. It's just a limited free will, I guess, if that makes sense.
With that being said, this is
'Cause your
brought to you in part by. I'm kidding. I'm
Because I
kidding.
mean, your dog probably feels as if it has the ability to do whatever it wants, as long as it doesn't piss you off or go out. Oh, your dog likes to piss you off, so that might not apply. But
Yes, she's cool.
but like, ideally, you would have the free will, but only the free will that you limited yourself to have, or the things around you limited you to have. Like I thought about it the other day. Like I've had multiple people in my life, and not obviously my dad and shit, like tell me like, if you don't know what you want to do, military is always an option. It's like, y'all trying to send a message or something? Like, is my life gonna get better if I go to the military?
That's
Have
what
I
it's-
just been blocking my blessings?
Like, or are you sitting there? You're like, who signed up? Like, are you being told this? Like, is someone telling you to tell me this every day?
Dude, like I've heard
Whispering
it
in your
from
ear?
multiple people, including myself. Like on an acid trip before, I told myself like I think the only way I can turn my life around is to go to the military, get some discipline, some structure, and come back in 4 years and have college like already paid for and everything, benefits for my kid. Like I really talked myself into it at one point because I was like having so many people tell me this shit. I was just like, maybe I don't know what's best for myself. But yeah,
My
dude.
point in case.
Yeah.
So is your influences, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's easy to say I do make my own decisions, but then at some point.
I have the free will to not follow those
That's true.
people and even my own personality telling me that might be a good move for me. So yes, we do have free will, and yes, it is based off of our thoughts, experiments, and things like that. Yeah.
We'll see where this goes. We'll see what as we dive deeper.
So said I'm gonna stop recording at 3:30. It is 3:58.
Yep, here we go. we dove deep into the realm of what's to come.
So just to wrap it all up in a nice little pretty bow for Christmas, Waffle House sucks. The Island Boys also suck.
Bad can be good. I don't know. Like I'm telling you,
bad can be good.
There's gonna be a fine line of shit and quality, and we're already digging through it. I feel like it's only gonna get worse.
Bad can be good as long as you change the aspect of what you're talking about.
We're gonna figure it out. I'm telling you, the fine line between what's real and what's not, and what's good and what's bad, is gonna get so thin. You're gonna be like, this is it.
I mean, I don't think so. I think like.
You think things are gonna get?
I think the idea of quality comes with your own experiments. Like, if you've never had good food, how would you ever know what it is? If you've never seen a good movie, how would you know what it is?
Maybe it's just it's gonna be clever, but it'll give you us more to work with.
I think the people that stay more surface level with what they do with their lives, as far as eat, sleep, shit, go to work, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel what you're saying.
Take in content, but like realistically, there's a lot of people invested in NFTs, crypto, fucking shit that doesn't even exist yet. That just for the idea of having a better future. How many people would see that the metaverse is a thing that they can participate in and not find out what the fuck is going on? Like there's a lot, like I don't know anybody that would go like buy Bitcoin right now without knowing what the fuck is going on with Bitcoin.
True. I mean, there's people who have just bought in.
Well, I mean, if you don't worry about your money, if you're already
some people just like, oh, whatever. This is also
if you're already so wealthy that you don't really care about where your money is, and
there's people.
I've heard people talking about like crypto as like a savings account, just using it as a savings account.
There's so much.
There's
so much versatility in it all right now that people.
I just think it's super idealistic and could be the demise of a lot of people's finances if it doesn't work out in the way that people want it to.
Yeah, that's why you got to do your research.
Correct. But why wouldn't you do your research in the same manner? That's what I'm trying to say. Is like that's why you got to do your research.
That's also why I'm trying to say that. But because there's also gonna be people, I'm telling you that every day, like that are just gonna be looking at the mainstream shit. The people that are looking at just like what's ever popping, and I think that has an influence on people. And when all day that's all that's getting fed to your brain.
Yeah.
That's where I'm saying the fine line of all this shit. That's where it's gonna happen. It's because there are gonna be the people who are just going to be getting fed this shit every day. And when your brain's fed a certain thing every day, that's kind of becomes a reality in your perception and what we create.
Well, true, but also, like, how many people that perform in that way of thinking do you fuck with? Do you know personally?
Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan. But
it's just not somebody that you would be around, right?
But
and I'm not saying they don't exist, but what I'm saying is, like I said earlier, that person's almost digging their own grave. To not be informed about the things that you're involved in is to be stupid.
That's very true. Well, yeah, no, let's wrap it up there because I got to get to work. You know, I picked up a shift today because I love myself, apparently.
So, yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to Fine Danny. Waffle House is a 5-star Michelin star restaurant.
Michelin? The tires. It does taste like tires, you're right.
5-star restaurant. Island Boys, Eric Andre, stay tuned. You know, find out more next time on Fine
Danny. I'm a big
Danny.
Eric Andre fan, big The Room fan. Everything else he named really needs to be missable.
Where we dive in deep into our brains and art.
Please,
we're gonna have guests on though.
Please do yourself a mental health safety and just never watch Sharknado.
Honestly, do yourself a mental health fucking safety and take some time to breathe.
Nah, that's
drink
for
water.
chumps.
And fucking don't get caught up in all the bullshit. There's a lot going on. This day and age, we're constantly shat on. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
I know you did.
Fair.
Look, guys, y'all have a great week. Daniel's about to have a great shift. I'm going to have a great day off.
Fine and dandy, fine and dandy, fine and
Tune in next time. Like, comment, subscribe.
Find y'all next week. Let's go.